As Faraday Future stock slips 20% today after a reverse split, even after saying that they are working on a sub-brand, surprise, surprise, what is NIO doing? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. I'm doing 2 videos on a Tuesday. I call this Terrific Tuesday, because some more incredible news just came to my attention as to why NIO is ripping and running today. So I just bought another 20 shares. I was able to sell on my traditional IRA account, my Palantir shares. I made like $180. I bought about 20 more shares, and I also bought some more shares of my UXIN, Ocean, which I truly believe in the future as well, in the next 5 years or so. I just keep adding to it. But anyway, NIO is up 3.29% today. I now hold 13,384 shares. So this is why NIO is ripping and running, guys. China cash for clunkers policy to fuel $26 billion more EV sales. Yes, you heard that right. But allow me to say it again. China's cash for clunkers, it's called, policy to fuel 26 billion more EV sales, according to a Bloomberg report. It says, cranking up the heat on ICE, ICE vehicles, gas-powered vehicles. China's cash for clunkers trade-in program could supercharge electric vehicle demand in the coming months, driving total EV sales to more than 10 million this year, according to Bloomberg. Now, what will happen? How much of that market share will we take with Onvo, the lion killer Ladao that's coming? And by next year with Firefly, how much of that 10 million next year we'll be taking? And how much battery swaps we'll be putting out? You guys saw in 13 days we did 1 million. That's nothing compared to what we'll be doing. So the government announced last month it would double trade-in subsidies. First introduced in April, it will double it in a bid to boost demand for cars after sales growth slowed in the first half of the year. Under the increased incentives, consumers can receive $2,760 to scrap an old higher emissions car and replace it with an EV, or 15,000 yuan towards trade-ins for a more fuel-efficient gasoline car. Many cities followed suit, so that means even if you trade in your hybrid, a more fuel efficient, but it's still burning gas and polluting. The Chinese people don't want to smell smog like we do here in California. So it says many cities followed suit. Many cities in China followed suit, leading the way for the world as an example, offering additional incentives ranging from around $140 to $1,400 per vehicle. The government initially budgeted 11.2 billion yuan for the trade-in program, enough to support replacement of up to 1.6 million vehicles with more efficient gasoline cars, or 1.1 million with EVs, analyst CME wrote in a report published Monday. While the new funding total hasn't been disclosed, the new total funding, BNEF assumes the targeted number of replaced vehicles will remain similar, with higher subsidies potentially spurring up to 2 million car sales, Mi said. That could include 1.1 million EV sales worth around 26 billion in revenue, she said. Let me say that again. That could include 1.1 million EV sales worth around 26 billion in revenue, she said. Increased update for the cash for clunkers incentive would be a welcome relief for Chinese EV makers who have been battered by a prolonged price war and are facing increasingly hostility abroad in certain European countries and here in America, with the US and European Union imposing punitive tariffs. The number of new EVs that Chinese automakers, including BYD and SAIC Motor MG, registered in the EU last month fell by 45% from June. According to research from Dataforce, which compiled results across 16 member countries. More than 26 million ICE vehicles were registered when China's third emission standards for passenger vehicles took effect. About 16 million of these are still on the road, so those are cars that's going to be, traded in. Most likely. There were an additional 1.2 million EVs registered before April 2018, and fewer than 400,000 of those were retired and scrapped. So it shows you that people who are buying their EVs are holding on to them. And especially with NIO, which holds its intrinsic value, its resale value, more than any other EVs. A report was done on that. This represents a total of 16.8 million cars qualifying for the trade-in incentive. This represents, let me say that again, a total of 16.8 million cars qualifying for the trade-in incentives. According to BNEF, 2.78 million vehicles were scrapped in the first 6 months of this year, up 28% from a year ago, up 28%. Roughly 70% of those were passenger cars. The program sets a target to replace 3.78 million old vehicles by year end. So this is one of the main reasons why you guys see the stock ripping and running, because the incentives that are being put in place by the Chinese government is to help the green energy sector and to encourage them to keep innovating and to keep accelerating and to keep devastating and to keep dominating the landscape, and that's what NIO is doing. So if all individuals discarding their old vehicles buy a new car and apply for the subsidy, the goal seems achievable. Me said, still only 600,000 applicants were filed between the start of the program on August the 13th, but we expect that number to increase dramatically. Automotive enthusiast coverage on Carmel, California for Monterey Car Week, where marquees ranging from Lamborghini to Mercedes all saying that they are looking forward to hybrids and pure energy vehicles. So I hope you guys understand what's happening. We are just in the beginning stages of our growth as NIO, as a company, because our Model 3 moment is coming. Yes, indeed, with the lion killer Ladao. Firefly is coming next year, where they're going to go into many more markets. I expect even the African market. So I hope you guys found this video to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. So guys, please do not forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so. Why? Because in this channel, we're waking up the middle class to the game that is played, where you catch the behemoths early on and grow your wealth to become rich. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.